Right.
The last 3 days, we've had, my goodness, all this
Nasty.
cold weather and windy weather. It's nice to see the break, but yeah, thanks for being here and taking your time. I guess the first thing we'll want to do is to look at is call order, and it looks like we do have a quorum. Good morning, Paul. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. Is anyone else?
Hi, Paul. Can you hear us?
Harry.
Good morning.
Harry.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Harry. Harry, you driving somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's always driving.
Well, again, thanks for, Paul being here and taking your time. I did want to, Holly said she couldn't attend this morning. I wanted to say what Holly had to say. She said, good morning, Gordon and Jason. Not be able to attend to this morning meeting. Gordon, please tell the marketing committee members this morning how much I appreciate all their continued efforts to help get out the word about our wonderful community and city. Scott Valley has never been presented by all of the city's entities working together with shared mission, budget and mission. Thank you, Gordon, for all the work to help lead the committee. The council and I appreciate our citizen committee. The marketing committee's efforts to lead people know our city's culture, brand, and very apparent. Thank you all. Thank you.
That's not a political speech. Maybe something's coming up there soon.
So I thought I'd share it with you.
Thank
So-
you, thank you.
I guess just going right in, that's the first thing, item is approval of the September 25th meeting minutes. Has everyone looked at it? Do I hear a motion?
Yes.
Approve it.
I think they're great. Thank you, Sharon.
Oh,
Yeah, they are good.
Sir, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make
That was what it was.
Okay, is there a second?
Sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
But yes, Sharon, she's incredible how well she does. She does a great job.
Yes. Okay, let's go right into the discussion items. Marketing update, Doug.
Okay, thank you, dear, appreciate it. I got a couple of things to talk about after I send it to you, but we'll talk about those first, since I wasn't here last week and
All right,
last
good.
month, and I had a opportunity, so, I know I mentioned to you before, but, the state, tourism, people, economic development have an annual, tourism governor's conference every year. This year was in Savannah. Mostly CBD people from all over the state, and other people come, but mostly it's just CBD people. But they had invited me to speak about the trail and what all we do, and so it was very, very nice. Huge trail. And then we got to break up into little groups afterwards, and people would come over and talk to me about the trail and whatever. So anyway, during the conversation, certainly I get to use a piece that we have had before. So this is fantastic. Not gonna be on many covers of things. I don't have that much power. But, so I'm sitting here and I'm showing them, here you go. This is kind of what we do. This is Sky Valley, and so I had this out. So that was really good. I certainly had way too many members. I couldn't talk about everybody, but certainly because I had this, I wanted to show what we can do and how we do promote Georgia and whatever. So each one of the tables, we got our new brochure done, which is a little early. We just had a few done for the conference, but we put them on the table, and we're fixing to go back and redo quite all of them. So this is the brochure in the middle picture, if you could tell. This is some golf course up here down the street. So we are going to, we have our 15th year logo, which starts next year. So we are going to change it and put what this is. So like the top one's Highland Walk, and then Sky Valley and then Callaway. So we're excited about that, but here's what we're doing again. We haven't done it in the past. Tourism lets us put brochures and banners in all the welcome centers. So we're gonna be updating these for 2026. So we send everybody I don't know, we give a lot of these away every year. And then new banners, which looks really good, goes inside and be up all the time. So that will be a help, that we have not done in the last couple of years, but they still have them, and so we're trying to regroup. And so next year, as I've kind of mentioned to you, we're doing a special history year for Georgia based on the 250th anniversary of our signing of Declaration of Independence, which is fantastic. The country's gonna be doing a lot of things. So I want to promote Georgia. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit again too, but I want to promote Georgia to people in terms of all our marketing and promote that, hey, we have whatever, we have Savannah, and that's our first city in the state. We have the Battle of Atlanta, the Civil War. So we're gonna be doing stuff all year round. So we certainly want to tie this in. Oh, by the way, you know, if we have something in Savannah, you can go and do this, you can go and do that, you know, so tie into our members. So we want to certainly do Northeast Georgia. I'm not really sure how much history we have up here, but certainly we'll find stuff. So we're coming up with a new logo that's going to be attached to this logo, that will have, I know mine is 1776 to 2026, history of Georgia or whatever. And so everything we do next year pretty much will have some little blip of history. So we can certainly talk about it. It won't be, so we'll have Northeast part of the year, Atlanta part of the year, Middle Georgia, Coastal Georgia, all these type things. So people other than, you know, who are coming will say, oh, wow, I'd love to go, you know, do that. Or so Callaway Gardens, great idea. We've got the little White House down there, you know, with Roosevelt. So things like that we want to promote. So anyway, that's great reception at tourism. It was great to see these people. They were very excited about what we're doing and been doing for years. And the state, it's very nice to the state is appreciating what we're doing again. All right, we're gonna go back a little bit here. Steve Pike came up, media guy, and he absolutely, as everyone else who comes up here, just loved the hospitality and what all he did. He did a lot of social media posts. This one right here, the first one is linked to his story he did. This is on his website, but he's putting this out, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Just gone out yet, or what is this?
Yeah, this on his website. This is
Okay.
his website. So you can see the right, his archives over here.
Okay.
And what he's done. So, and Steve, again, look there, that's a pretty house, isn't it? And
Is that the Vanderbilt House?
ask Miss Lisa, she'll tell you more about that.
Yeah, so that's one of my clients, Sarah Lamar, and she's based in Savannah, and she purchased 2 years ago. And so she visits frequently, but also short-term rents.
Well, that was the first thing that he sent me was, and you'll see in a few minutes, the social media posts, and showing pictures of the house and the view of the Appalachian Mountains, and I thought that was a good way to start his visit. And he was there. He said, we were sitting on top of Georgia, and all the way to the top there. So, anyway, he was very, very impressed. Loved the golf course, and Steve goes everywhere. I mean, from the top of the world to the bottom of the world to Europe to, Steve's very well known in the travel industry, and he has become a really good friend. Only known him now a couple of years, and he's on the phone with him yesterday. What else can I do for you? What else can I do for you? You know, we're trying to get some new things going. So he's got a lot of connections. Sharon, if you go back to the page, thank you very much. But I thought he did a great job. So here is, he named off all so much stuff, I couldn't even keep up with it. Social media, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook pages, is a lot. He's on at travelmedia.com. He named off 2 or 3 others that I forgot even what he said. I mean, he has got this out there. He did a ton of pages on Facebook. And I don't know if that link will work. Can you try that link? Thank you. It might not, might have to just, yeah, go in and do whatever. So if it's fine for that, oh, there it is, okay. Oh, how beautiful Sky Valley is, and so I mean, he's just, I mean, seriously, as soon as he got to the top of the mountain there, Lisa, he was texting me and sending me this, it's like, I can't believe this is. So, and for Steve, you know, who have been everywhere,
Right.
literally, you could hear it in, you know, how much you appreciated it and loved it before he stayed, so.
Good, it was worth it. Those views are incredible.
I want to go up there myself, so, so great, so very, very well done. He's got some stuff he's gonna continue to try to send out, and I'll keep you on, but again, having these people here is certainly worth it, because then we just don't say, hey, can you write about this? And they write about it, and it doesn't, you know, they put it somewhere, and they don't know anything about it, they don't, you know. So certainly having people here and having Steve here, you know, I wish I had his life. So he's got a girlfriend, and they just, you know, they just travel everywhere. I called him the other day, I said, where you at? You in North Pole or South Pole? Where you at? He said, no, I'm sitting in my house in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see all his posts on social
What's his
media.
distribution? They got great articles, where, you know,
It's-
You know, numbers and.
He's got different places. So Golf One Media, which you know, and we're gonna show you that you're sponsored again this week. That goes up to 75,000 people. That's a newsletter that came out. So Alan, who does Golf One Media, picked up because Steve calls Alan and said, hey, can you run this story? Steve calls Alan or John Doe and said, can you run this story? Well, they know Steve, as I said, people like that always need editorial.
How many
Okay.
people just said?
new material.
75,000 was Golf One Media.
He's excited about it, if they get excited.
Yes, so like, I asked him, I said, can you get this into Golf Aficionado, which is a very classy magazine? And he said, well, yeah, I'll call him, and he just had a baby and just did, you know, fine, he said, I'll call it, you know, the owner or whatever. So because of who Steve is, and I told you, I don't bring anybody up here who's not worth the effort, just to get somebody up here. It's not worth y'all's time, and so I can see, and that's what I tell you. I got a PGA show at the end of January, and I sit around and talk to all these men and women, and say, hey, what you doing in, you know, next year? Because again, I try to get their schedules when they're coming through Georgia, or now, Danny and Alice live in Arizona, so they don't necessarily just come through Georgia, so I had to pay them a little bit to come, and, you know, they did a great job, and certainly love, you know, what they're doing, but they're all over the world, doing stuff. They've really grown, you know, as America's golfing couple, so that's kind of cool. Joey, Southern Fairways Golf Magazine, he did an article. I tried to send it to all of you. I apologize if some of you didn't get it. So here's the article right below. But it's the real estate that we're continuing to do, which we'll continue to do, just different things. And so Joey's doing stuff, we're doing stuff. So this is a newsletter he sends out. So, and that probably goes, I got some different numbers in my head. I think he does 50,000, and it's southeast, western southeast. Okay, that's what he is. Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama. He's going into Georgia. He wants to cover the whole southeast, but it takes time and certainly money, and so. But he does a real magazine, i.e. this is Joey's, this is who we're talking about. So that's what he did for us, you know, this year again.
And
And
how many copies of that
were available to put out or some 80,000, did I?
Yeah,
Something like that.
something like that number, yeah.
Did we have, stacks of them or something?
No.
No, they all mailed.
Yeah, I brought some, whenever I brought some this summer, I don't know when I brought
I have
them.
one.
So, yeah, try to give everybody one, and then we left some here, I don't,
Yeah, you have
Sure.
a small.
yeah, and that's, he, trust me, been a print, I've been a publisher, understand, you print, and you carry a few extra, you don't carry many, because I've even gone back and asking for past stuff, and then, so how many more, so.
I think I took the bulk of those to the board meeting.
I think I remember you saying that, yeah.
And distributed them, and people.
That's what we wanna do, so certainly people wanna see what the marketing committee's doing, not just a pay bill, but actually doing something, no, I agree with you, that's really good pay bill. Anyway, so we're just promoting.
Is he the golf club manager?
Could you call him, do you mind, in the meeting and see if he's gonna be able to make the meeting?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, just ask him and let me know, because he's on the agenda, so.
What's that?
We're gonna have to talk to
Gordon
Gordon.
went to talk to Summer and she was.
He's interrupting the meeting by talking to someone. That's all right, you as chairman, you get to do what you want to. Anyway, because we heard you talking to someone. All right, so again, we're promoting real estate and Lisa is doing a really good job and we're just gonna continue that throughout the year. Here's the Golf One Media. This is the top of his newsletter. I didn't show the whole newsletter because this is, well, but this goes out, what I was telling you, to 75,000 people. He does a fantastic job. Alan is very well known in the golf industry, has done quite a few things. He's over in Mississippi, but his stuff goes out everywhere. And does a great job. So that just kind of, right off top, people see. Now, I told you before, we don't get this all the time. If I ask him to put it in, he'll put it in. We try to get as many things as we can about Sky Valley in this. So we're gonna maybe try a different angle to continue. Because he's got readers and the readers don't want to keep seeing Sky Valley every other week, so I get it, and I don't want to push him, to do, but he's helping me, so I am, now he's helping me with the whole trail, not just Sky Valley, so I am paying him a little bit to, kind of put us at the top. All right, next, Georgia State Golf Association, who has been up here a couple of times, who love it. Jeff Fages is running their tournaments throughout the year. Loves Sky Valley, so I had met with him before and we talked about it. So I said, okay, let me go meet him in his office. So they have a brand new setup there at the Bobby Jones Golf Course there in North Atlanta, right above the 75-85 split right there. It's beautiful. They've redone it. This is a course that Atlanta gave Bobby Jones back in the 1930s, and it just dried up to nothing. And state came in and have made it 9 holes, but you can play different ways. So, and they got a beautiful practice facility. They have a tennis facility. They have the Georgia State Golf Association there. They have the Georgia PGA there in their big building. And they also have the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame is in there. So it's a very nice thing. We're trying to get them on the trail because actually Bobby Jones IV, who I know Bobby Jones's grandson, would like to get them on the trail. So we're working on a few things there. So I did mention about to him, we talked about timeshares. It's growing and that we just, you come up here. Problem again is if he wants to do a statewide event, it's tough. People in South Georgia, so I'm not driving 5 hours, to come up to Sky Valley Playground. So he's trying to come up with smaller events, but again, this is huge to get them on the schedule, or us on the schedule for their amount. So it's something I want to keep on top of, and that's why, you know, when we go out and meet him, not just talk to him on the phone, I already met him, but I mean, actually, like I said, in his office. So, but I did mention timeshares was up and going, and we could, you know, certainly have more availability, in the future for, you know, places. Working on, as I told you, Reagan County, you know, we met with them and we, had told them that we were gonna do more for them. That would include Sky Valley, and so we've got some things we're working on. Again, as I told y'all, a lot of the stuff that I do here is tiny. It's, these people don't have, and I try to do it without paying for anything. I'm certainly not paying for a ad. I'm certainly not paying for an article. I don't mind working with these people, but I try to get them where, hey, can you put something in and maybe we'll help you send it out, you know, that type stuff. Because I don't have a big budget for stuff like that, but we want to do it. So I told her, so we are working with something on Reagan County, that I think is going to be nice where it hits. And then sometimes I don't want to hit anything hit in the winter, you know, and that's what we're going to be a little downtime between now and January, and then we kind of creep back up because we got to get things going. So there's all kind of things in my head that, you know, we could certainly talk about for another couple of hours, but he's gonna get me in touch with their, marketing staff, and communications, where we can work with them on that, so. Number 6 there, is pretty much what I just said, mentioned to you, planning for 2023, it's been on my mind for Georgia, and I'm just gonna do that out, just a song. Anyway, that's gonna be important, and I've got a lot of people lined up to help me do this, next year. And so, I mean, we're gonna start in January with different articles that we could put out, different social media, and just promote Georgia. So any help, and I'll turn my head to the left over here, any help that we know about historical stuff that's up here, and it doesn't have to be in Reagan County. It could be, hey, come see the gold strike in Dahlonega, you know, and come visit the Northeast Georgia, whatever. Just think about it, please. I would love any help and anything we could do like that. That would be greatly appreciated. So, I think that was it, Sharon.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So, yeah, good couple of months, working on some stuff, which I have to, like I said, slow down, not quitting, but slowing down a little bit. So we don't get these guys keep hearing me call them and say, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Because I want to hit it hard for spring, and summer and fall and whatever. We did start, which we will start right now. I just sent Ryan if you got a copy of it, inquiry to come up and play golf from Florida next week, 2 weeks from now, maybe. And they're playing 3 days, 36 holes a day. So I just leave it up to Ryan and you know, let him figure out how that works. It's just a twosome, but we will start doing a lot more with travel inquiries. So anything we can tell people from your guys' perspective, I need to know, so I can put it out on these travel sites that I work with. I mean, just one line, you know, hey, check us out, we have to, da, 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 da. So, that was it. That's,
Any questions?
full
Great.
2 weeks.
So I guess looking into next year, we're planning it out, you see more media visits and so forth?
Yes,
Yeah.
trying to.
Budgets and so forth.
Yeah, and more, so I mean, I had a couple of people that I wanted to invite, but they're a little smaller. So it kind of depends on you, and like I said, I'm not gonna bring somebody up here that's not gonna help us. Because again, you know, you work with police on the house, which costs, money is going to the, you know, country club, you know, it costs.
Right.
So we don't wanna, you know, but anything is gonna outweigh the cost of what we put money into it, okay?
Yeah.
So we want to time it, I want to time it with different people who have different things. I got a meeting already scheduled with the guy who does, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana Golf Journals. They're all, there's 3 different magazines. He uses a lot of the same stuff. Great guy. Fred, he's been up here, but it was years ago. And so we're gonna try to get up there and pull a little bit, because we concentrated on Georgia, then the southeast, and then the eastern. We don't really go to the northeast. The trail, but not Sky Valley so much. So I want to get with him, because we do get a lot of people from Ohio, Michigan, that area up there who travel down. So I get to see, the inquiries and all that type of stuff. So I'll shut up.
Okay, good. Very good, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Next item is the market committee at luncheon at Sky Valley Country Club, MLR's area realtors, with the Sky Valley community. Now, this really came up, we discussed it. Comment from Howard, he says, our marketing committee has done a good job of displaying to the world, outside world, the treasures of Sky Valley. Would it be an effective strategy to bring our area realtors to the Sky Valley Country Club for a luncheon or happy hour to display what is available in Sky Valley? I'm not sure all the area realtors realize all that is available, particularly at the club, and what is available lots that are here in the area. As you know, that vibrant real estate market brings great dividends to our city and the club. So last time we discussed it, and I think it's pretty, over the years, having some kind of a maybe annual function or something, bringing in people, specifically the area realtor. So wanted to talk a little bit about it again. Is it something we want to do? Obviously next year, plan it out and so forth. How we do it, our suggestions on it.
Very, in different avenues.
Gordon, would this be an expense of the marketing committee?
Yes, it would be. That's what Ryan, I was just saying, Ryan can't make it. Yes, part of the deal possibly would be sharing it 50-50 and so forth like that.
We'll probably need to work that out.
Yeah.
Probably need to work it out in advance so it can go to the board.
Yes.
Because and also the media visits, I think when we get to the budget, we need to consider that and the expenses associated, because with this last visit, I think we had like 5 meals, which were not approved by the marketing committee. And, but the housing, of course, probably was, I'm assuming. But I think that ought to be, we ought to factor that into our
That
budget.
is in the budget. They were factored in the budget.
Okay, good.
Yeah, all that, and we'll go over it again. Yes, that was factored in the budget.
Okay, are the meals and that sort of thing, depending upon how long they're here and how many meals we're gonna
Yes.
have at the club, is that gonna be an expense of the marketing committee, or are you thinking about sharing that, or what are your thoughts on it? Or you may wanna wait till,
I think we'll talk about that. Yes, it's a good point, and that's in the budget, was in the budget last year, or this year, and the year before. But yes, we can discuss that. And we'll review the budget, and I'll show you the breakdown where it was.
Okay.
Yes, great, yes.
Also, Gordon, if you want to consider my client's home again in the future, I'm gonna send her the media posts and the exposure, and I think that she would be more than willing to negotiate further on the housing costs as well.
Great.
And one thing too is, I've asked Steve, and I'm sure he would do this, would make a little note and send it to Lisa, or us, and so, hey, I stayed here, it's great, you need to come to Sky Valley, those type of things we're gonna try to do a little more of with these people. Not a long article, this is just a short clip that can be used for her marketing, our marketing, however, but here's Steve Pike, who's y'all don't know, but he's golf world famous, you know, in terms of riding, travel, which again means a lot. So I think something like that, where you could say, hey, this place is fantastic, y'all need to come. Something like that could help. So thoroughly, and again, I said to you in email a couple times, but you do a fantastic job of all the protection and direction to Steve and what to do, where to go and how to, I mean, she was just like superwoman with her writing and telling what to do and how to do it. It's like, it's a weight off my shoulders because I don't have to, so I certainly appreciate that, appreciate the house, appreciate
I think she does that with all our clients.
well, she probably does. I just want to
That's
give her,
what we do, right?
I just want to give her credit because she did a fantastic job with a person that none of y'all know, so.
Make it as seamless as possible.
Anticipating.
He was totally blown away. I mean, with what she did, and I'm sure he goes and nobody says, okay, here you go, come to the resort, and nobody's there, don't know what to do, how to do it, whatever. So, I mean, we showed him how to do everything. So, thank you, Jim.
Yeah, back to the, in terms of, I was asked at the last meeting, contact a few realtors and see if this would be a good idea if we would do this. And maybe we could talk to it, and I was introduced to Dale Fenwick at the, I guess he had the recent croquet was a tournament.
Yeah.
And attending there, he introduced me to Mitzi Rowers. Yes. Maybe you could say a little bit broker, and maybe you could talk a little bit about it. And Mitzi is a broker out of Highlands and luxury market, and we talked a little bit about, what do you think of getting, you know, having something together, talking about what's Sky Valley, and she was just enthusiastic about it. She thought Sky Valley, the club, how they, yeah, the club, how they handle the croquet tournament was something else, and she was enthusiastic, would like to know more about Sky Valley, what she knew about it. She said it was fantastic. I met her husband, and her husband was the same way, would love to hear more about Sky Valley. Jim, maybe you talk to her, I believe, at the.
Yeah, her husband is one of the better croquet players on the plateau and was here for the tournament. But she actually seemed pretty well informed about what had been going on.
Yes.
In Sky Valley, especially over the years. And I think she had a role in recruiting, like the 17th best croquet player in the country, to come to Sky Valley. And he participated with us in the Mountain Classic tournament for all the clubs. And so this is the first time that we've done pretty well in that.
Yes.
You know, we're getting a lot of positive feedback from the plateau, coming out of Highlands and Cashiers about what's going on in Sky Valley. Of course,
Yes.
that means we're gonna have to be very careful with our staff, our chef. I mean, you know, in the sense that but the feedback has been very good for it.
So if we had this, I guess this is a discussion, if we had this luncheon sometime in the future, we're talking about what would the luncheon be? It would be something like, I envision the luncheon being something where you have the marketing committee introduces, and then you have the POA possibly give a short presentation, the timeshare give a very short presentation, and then of course the club would be the major, give their presentation and show everything that's about it.
Yeah.
And during that time, we could provide some kind of a luncheon, maybe, you know, some kind of cost on it and so
It
forth.
needs to be a lot of graphics on the screen going
Yeah,
on at the
right.
same time.
Yes, right. So the area of doing is to put it together. So is there something we want to plan? It's an early stage, something we like, and we, of course, as Jack was saying, we have to budget it out, and we want to budget this, we want it this year, so it's in the budget. So there's something, first of all, you like, that thinks it's a good idea. And if we do, then we have to have someone who would chair it, that would reach out to the different people in the region. I think real estate people, I could think all the way from Frankfurt, North Carolina, Highlands, possibly Clayton, someone in that area, and just see how many they want to attend this thing.
And if we did something like that, that would be a good time to be able to announce that the club is letting real estate brokers who aren't members use the club, you know,
Okay,
take
that's
the folks to
right, yes.
lunch while they're
Okay, got it.
up here.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think that could make a big difference.
So the overall, the idea sounds sound, and we just have to put it together, time-wise.
Well,
Would it be,
Brian, what do you think?
would it be a good idea to, if they, real estate people in and that type of thing that are not members or whatever, maybe let them bring a vendor setup and let them pay for it?
I'm sorry.
Maybe bring a vendor setup, you know, for a vendor table for their particular, and let them pay a fee to be there, may offset some of that,
Is that gonna be when members are gonna be there?
I would say
Gotta be, because they don't wanna
yeah,
talk to the other realty people.
I was thinking this is just being the.
I don't know, I was just trying
I
to
like that idea, I like this idea, but yes,
I'm trying to grow the brand.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
fantastic idea, I think it's great, but yeah, it would have to be a big function. With whatever y'all do, I don't know what that may be, name a few things, but, and have them set up some stuff, you know,
You're
around.
talking about the realtors being the vendors?
Yeah,
Perhaps, or, you know, maybe we would have a table there.
Yeah.
You know, the timeshares would have a table there, the POA has a table there, I mean,
What type of function would this be
I
after?
guess it was a luncheon, right?
Oh, you're talking about after lunch.
We can look at, this is discussion,
Just a thought.
my idea was trying to.
I was trying to offset some of the costs too.
no,
Yeah.
I get that.
Your point though, Gordon, is going to be real well organized, because
Yeah.
one, you're gonna have to know how many people are
Yes.
coming.
Yes.
They're gonna have
Yeah.
to commit to be there in order to prepare a
Right.
luncheon.
Right.
And I wonder, Sharon, like Franklin and Clayton, they have their own individual realtors associations?
I don't know. Gordon was gonna check in, I thought, with that. Did you see if there are?
The thing I found was, again, talking to Mitzi, just to see if there's something that was interest, there's an interest, so, no, I haven't gone any farther with it.
Okay.
So, that would be the next function, just how many would be interested in attending, of course, we have the cost, yes.
Too much over here would be good,
Well, that's,
because you don't
throwing all
want,
these things around,
have
I would think
people
spring,
gone.
I'm looking at
you
possibly spring, you tell me the best time to come.
know, maybe spring when both people still there.
Kick the spring off, something to kick the spring off.
Yeah,
I was
so
hoping
people hadn't come from Florida up here yet, or whatever, or yes, they're up here now, but nobody's
But
left
I'm
yet.
looking at the one function realtors, I guess would be maybe realtors.
I know, I'm back with that, I like that
Two
idea.
different factions here, but.
But you're gonna have to find a lot of realtors to make that.
Well, I'm looking, is it a small, again, it's open at 20, 10, 15 realtors, I don't know how many would be there, a smaller, are you looking at
And
something?
they
large?
bring all their agents.
Oh, that's a good point,
Or
very
they
good
do.
point.
These are
Maybe-
questions that I think, any of us who know realtors who have good relationships, we can just ask them, what would draw you in? You know, what would grasp your interest, because they get invited to a lot of events.
Yeah.
And some of them are very, very high end.
Okay.
And they have, you know, giveaways and raffles, and they do a lot of things to draw them in. So I can ask a friend of mine that's in Clayton, you know, what can we do to get you guys to come? Who would you bring? What time of year? Like what, you know, what would interest you?
I would think, that's what we're here for, this is what it works.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
I
works.
agree.
Yeah, good idea.
Yes,
Yeah, intelligence.
yeah,
I'll ask.
could you, I guess that'd be great, Lisa, if you could chair, and then maybe the next meeting we have. Not the whole thing.
All right, I'm off the duck race.
Let me-
No, you're not.
Lisa, maybe just to get the information. Since you're in
I'm
that
happy to
area.
do that. I mean, I'm a realtor and, you
Yeah.
know, I'm a member of the Atlanta Apartment Association and
Yeah.
we do tons of things, but you know, the real question is, how do we get people to attend? Cause they may say they will, but something better comes up and they speak
Yes,
up, so
right,
how do
right.
we,
Right,
how do we get them to come in?
Mhm.
All right,
So typically, what would you think? How many realtors would be in this area? Say there was an interest in it. Some say, I already know about Sky Valley, I'm not interested, but the people who want to get to know more about Sky Valley.
In my mind, I feel like the realtors on the outskirts, they don't have listings here.
Got it.
And they may not, have buyers that are looking in this area,
Yeah.
but they may have a lot of interest in what we have on the market compared to what they're selling. But I know that a lot of the realtors, so I'm talking more Highlands, but in Clayton, they're out here and they're doing a lot of work out here. So I think Clayton would be a big draw. Obviously, all of the realtors in this area, and probably a few from Highlands, just out of curiosity, probably.
So as hard as it is for someone in Clayton County, maybe down in Clayton, talk, maybe the idea to get to know more about Sky Valley, maybe they don't know them all, and this would be an opportunity for them to get to know Sky Valley better. And of course, then it gets into what we would do, what we provide. I would anticipate we'd have a small lunch or something like that, nothing extravagant, a lunch, maybe a drink or something like that. I'm thinking of cost 30, 50, I don't know, $50 a head. I hope when Brian was here, we get an idea of cost, so we could sort of plug that in with knowing the number. Yes. I can ask Brian, wasn't here, just approximately, what would it cost to, if we had a lunch and we had per person lunch, a drink, something like that at the club? I would guess 35 to 50 bucks, somewhere in that range. I'll have to get that solved down. But most important is, at this meeting, we're trying to, is there interest? Sounds like there is interest, and we just gotta start planning for how we do it. And then,
And then somehow we've got to get up to see Sky Valley, not just the inside of the club.
oh, no.
So maybe there's a waterfall tour and
Ah, okay, very good. So it'll be a little more than just lunch, and would be
drive through, see some houses.
housing, timeshares,
Yeah,
updated
yeah.
timeshares, yes,
Oh, my
okay.
God.
So we want to have, yes.
I've heard it's the only-
So you make it, it'd be more than just a luncheon, it could be half a day type of deal, something like that. Okay, good.
I don't know, maybe a couple of them want to play mountain golf, I don't know.
Some kind of enticement.
Okay,
Just,
Got it.
yeah.
free lunch is more than
Yeah, I
just a
go
free
eat
lunch.
Chick-fil-A, you know what I mean?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? No, so let's figure out what we can do to come.
Okay.
Well, if you come, you have a chance to win the twosome at the golf course, some kind of enticement, because it's gonna be tough.
I like Lisa's idea of identifying the market
Yeah.
and what they
the
want,
interest is.
what they're looking for. If you can identify that, then you know what to do.
Certainly. Okay, for the next meeting, Lisa, we'll get back and we'll have the next meeting, and is that possible during this period of time? You could get a general idea of what they want and so forth, and report to us?
Absolutely. Our
Okay,
next
great.
meeting is on Thanksgiving Day, which I'm
Right, well, I'll
assuming
be
won't
there.
occur.
Great.
But
And tell them that time of the year.
Well, I can definitely have that information. before
Yeah,
then.
because it's for them, yeah, great, good, okay, very good, thank you. Next item is going on is forward rated market board meeting report. Sharon, can you give us up to date?
Well, it's not good news. You remember last year they cut the budget to pay for part of CJ's salary?
Yeah.
This year it's gotta be cut by an additional $50,000 to pay for another chunk of her salary. And that's just their Forward Ravens decision for how they're using, quote, their budgeting.
So CJ County is $50 Ravens budget.
Who's cutting it? I'm sure.
Well, it's not being cut,
Yeah.
her salary's being taken out of it.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, we're gonna lose $50,000 worth of ad material. At this point, this is what they've decided to cut. 11 Alive streaming, the North Georgia travel guide, the state one, it'll be digital only. Explore Ravens travel guide will still be print and we'll still supply that to all of the, visitor centers in the state. James Magazine, we did an article last year that's being cut. We were in several Encore playbills. We're not gonna be in those anymore. Angler Magazine, we did one. We're not gonna do that. And they are considering cutting the Placer AI.
Hmm.
Cause that's $11,000. Yeah. I thought the decision was made, but she said no, the contract runs through end of February.
Or, Placer,
Yeah,
I got it. Okay, so then we want to get.
That's the connection we have with Placer.
that's
through
the
them.
only connection we have.
Yeah.
Was it 8,000 or 6,000 that we talked to them about just for, the city one time?
Connection.
You talking about?
Placer AI.
Like,
Yeah, but they went with the bigger.
They went with 11,000 because it's for the county. But we were talking about when we were gonna look at budgeting it for our committee, it was either 6,000 or 8,000, but that was what, Jason, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the number of logins too, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because we had 3 through Reagan County here.
Is the county cutting their contributions to Fort Raven?
Yeah,
Or we-
I'm trying to figure out what's triggering the cutting back on all of
The
this.
city gave 50-something thousand last year for one of our hotel motel.
Well, it sounds like that basically was a wash because that's what they're cutting.
Hmm.
And I don't mean to say it like cutting, but something has to be trimmed because now they're saying her salary, which is all about marketing and promoting Raven County,
Yeah.
has to come out of this fund.
So they moved her salary.
Last year it was half of her salary. Now I
Now
think
it's
it's
all
the
of it.
other half of her salary.
is going into the,
Will come out of,
Well,
all
she
that.
won't be there long.
Yeah.
well, we don't want to lose her.
Well, would you not make any move? You're gonna lose her.
Well, she's making $100,000.
Oh, so that's $100,000 for Raven County, and I'll get this job.
Maybe it's 75, but last year I thought we kept 50 as well.
was her salary cut or they just put funding where it was coming?
Funding.
Funding where it was coming from. So they gotta take that out. of
So we have to
funding.
lose ad money, basically, advertising funds.
Basically, they're not getting money in. Okay, so there's members or whatever are not choosing to come back or.
No, that's not true.
That's not true?
Because the people who fund it are the cities.
The city.
Just the city, not the members,
No,
not like a restaurant or anything like that?
no, Sky Valley, Dillard, I don't think
They
Tiger,
have a chamber function.
and
separate.
Clayton.
That's member.
Yeah, the chamber's not involved in this. So it's just the contributions from our hotel motel taxes and
Are
things.
they
And
less?
those
or-
contributions are being reduced.
No.
No.
Just just say our overall budget, I don't know what it is, let's say it's 50,000, well, no, it's more than that, $200,000 for Raven County's marketing committee. The money's still there, but they said, hey, we're gonna take CJ's other half of the salary out of it. So we're paying, that money is paying her salary now. Nothing cut back other than they, instead of Forward Raven paying for it, now it's all coming out of the tourism money.
Got it.
And that's what she does, is promote tourism,
Right.
She's in charge of the social media operations.
all of it.
Yeah.
Magazine
Her name
ads,
is,
all of it. CJ Thompson. We met with her a couple of times.
Yeah, she was here. Yeah.
She was here, I think,
Very
last
sharp.
spring, maybe.
Okay,
But we're losing our connection, right, with Placer, is that correct?
If, she said it has not been decided yet, and we'll talk about it again, but how much have we used it?
I don't know.
The only thing that we normally have looked at are our events.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to, and I looked today, I couldn't even,
Events during the year, yeah.
So
I couldn't pull up the fall festival yet because it has to roll into November.
I'm wondering if there's more that we can do with that data or not.
Sharon, can I ask you a question? Do you all choose to pay for Raven, the hotel motel tax, right?
The city has the choice. It has to go towards a designated economic development entity. Historically, it's been the chamber, but it doesn't have to be for Raven. It could, for example, if the city wanted to establish its own CBB or something, that would be an option. That money could go towards that. Or it could be, you could reduce down the amount that you donate to Fort Raven and give to other entities, but it just has to be a recognized economic development entity. But historically, they received, I think 40. When we went from 5% to 8%, it was 60-40, 60% went to the city, 40 to them. But when we went to 8%, I think it's now like 50, I think it's like 43.57. The economic development percentage went up. So they got a 50.
And that's a stipulation of the hotel motel tax.
Yeah, the state mandate.
It's standard state tax, but you get to choose, and is that chosen by the council where they
Yeah,
choose that goes?
Yeah, yeah.
And historically, it's just been rated forward,
Forward rating, yeah.
or forward rate, thank you.
And that can all obviously change in the future.
So Fort Raven, how much this year?
I got the full report, Gordon, but, it was well over 50,000. You know, when we went from 5% to 8%, obviously the amount went up. I know it was in the 50 range, but there, as I just mentioned, their percentage went up also because the state made the changes differently. Again, it was 60-40, but now it's like, 43, 57, 50, like 57% goes to the city, 43% goes to economic development. But I give you that number, it was in the 50s.
And Sharon, if you don't, not to ask another question, but if you feel like the value is dropping on that, is there another entity that you think you would benefit more from?
I don't know. We've always been forward Raven since I got here, and Jason had talked about the city could possibly quote, develop its own. I mean, but if we only gave 50,000, we're dealing with, 200,000, and that's just off the top of my head. Versus for the whole county, where she puts out, articles and magazines versus just 50 for us. I don't know.
Larger group.
Yeah, and a farther reach. I mean, she obviously is pushing for the whole area to have tourism.
Jason, if we came up with additional program increments on the marketing committee, could the marketing committee somehow eventually be the beneficiary of that?
You would have, the marketing committee would basically have to probably restructure itself to where it is recognized by the state as an economic development entity. Create like a central business district or Sky Valley business, some type of entity. And then
You didn't take that over, buddy.
Then-
What happens when you open your mouth, buddy?
then the council could fully fund that, or do 50-50 to that, or 50 to the, or however you want to do it. But that's really my understanding. Last time I had a conversation with, about that, with some of the folks that are in the know, we would have to basically restructure the marketing, it would have to be recognized by the state as an economic development, which largely what y'all do is just, I'm sure there's some, I think it was Doug Kidd I talked to about that, that would certainly something that you could look at. It would just take a while.
Just so we know.
So it's not gonna directly impact us in any way, right? In terms of, just cut that, okay.
Good.
So bottom line,
You're gonna blow this place up, buddy.
there's no cutback in terms of our,
Scott Valley at this point, right? In
Yeah.
terms of possibly AI, I'm not sure how much we'll be using that anyway, but,
Yeah.
right, that's a possibility they might.
I have a feeling, yeah, they will, but
Okay.
The question's always been, does Sky Valley get from Forward Raven
$50,000 worth.
value
Yes.
commensurate with what we give them?
Well, the problem, I think, with Sky Valley not getting as much as maybe Clayton, we don't have as much to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, we can say croquet, but it's a member thing, golf, come and stay within our areas, because it's all, that money all comes from, as they say, heads and beds. We need this to stay overnight to get the money. I mean,
Good
she,
point.
she brought in Nelson Hicks and we did that thing with, for whatever news station that was, and that was great.
The WSB's very.
WSB, but we just, don't have as much to advertise, we don't have the gorge and, we don't, all these different things to put people out there to, I guess we could do views and vistas and having the leaf lookers, but we just don't have a draw on our own without golf.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
many people, and the pool, the amenities are definitely helps, but 2 festivals a year doesn't bring in, near as much as Ramshackle and all the other ones they do.
Thank you.
Mhm.
thank you.
And you know what, maybe the amounts were down Well, no, they'll be down this year, I bet, because the Dillard House definitely was a huge contribution for Dillard. And I think their amenities right now, since they're remodeling, haven't been as well used, like the convention center. They didn't have all the things they normally have to draw people in. So, but that's probably next year's contribution.
Alrighty, thank you for the report. Let's go timeshare. Got another report? Would like to get it?
Okay. On a good note, our rentals and sales are increasing a little bit. We're seeing much more an increase in our rental situation, and we attribute that really to re-incentivize the staff. So when somebody calls and says, I'm looking for a place to stay on a leaf weekend, what it used to be, well, we don't have a 2-bedroom with a loft available, but now the statement's made, but we do have a 2-bedroom and a 1-bedroom, and
That's awesome.
and so some other things are being mentioned because it's an incentive to them. So I think that's how. We also, when you go in our check-in lobby now, John's installed a TV, a large 45 or 50-inch TV, and we got a loop going in there of all of all the pictures from the website, of everything. There's a constant loop in there. So while people are checking in.
Sure, help me figure that out.
Y'all did a great job. Thank you very much for your help on it. But when, let's say you've got backup there, and we do on Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays, when people are checking in, we got a backup sometimes there in our check-in area. And so they're seeing that loop of all the amenities that are going on and everything that's going on in Sky Valley, everything off the website. It's just kind of promoting the whole image, and we're getting some good feedback on that. We do start our slower season here in the next couple of weeks, particularly after Thanksgiving. And that's when we'll really kick it up a notch on doing some improvements and some remodeling and some straightening out when we have access to buildings. You know, we've got aging buildings up there. There's always something going on. There's always gonna be something going on.
Surprise.
Whether it be a leak here or whatever else. But we are working very hard during our winter months to upgrade even more units than we do. That's the time of year that we can do that. We have, all in all, much better, very good up there, and appreciate everything the marketing committee's doing. But we need to dig in and get more involved here and get our name out and stuff too, what's going on, places to stay. And if you ever wanted to run a golf tournament in early spring, we could find association weeks and make it happen early spring. Our problem before has been May, June, July, August, September, and that's when even our people that are aging out, they show up, so we just don't have availability then. But if we could plan.
We can't handle more than maybe 10 people during that period.
Yeah. But early spring, or early winter, so all the people that used to snow ski are.
I know this last month, I don't think anything in terms of us going to see one of the units.
We're pretty well just about set. We've got a couple of units that I'd really like to show you guys.
So Thanksgiving after turkey, we come.
Yeah, come on over
Since
that.
we're having a meeting on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, come to Florida to see me.
Is it possible the next meeting that we already decided, or is that?
Yeah, we'll give you some dates.
Yeah,
and
right.
some units if you'd like to
Do
look
we
at.
usually do like the 2 months together, like the 1st of December?
I'll let you guys decide on that, yeah, when we get down to the next meeting. Yes,
Maybe.
yeah,
We've done a considerable amount of work. We're gonna be doing more.
okay, good.
We're not in a rush, but the more you can do, the more we can do, right? So,
Since we started doing a lot of the renovation work, it's been during the busy time. It's tough to get a lot done at one time. So it's.
Understand.
We do, we've pulled out a lot of carpet. We put down Luxury Battle for stuff and, furnishings, it depends. And of course, we have 11 condo associations.
Yeah.
Need I say
Everybody,
any more?
everybody shakes their head at me like, what?
Yeah, need I
I
say
said,
any
people I
more?
take up there and they're like, what? I'm like, dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get a consensus on where to go.
We have 11 different opinions, to multiply that, 52 weeks times so and so. So we have about 3,500 different opinions. But it's exciting, things are much better. Oh, and there's a new sign that'll be hanging from our office sign there that says sales and rental office. So, it's not just a place to check in. And we're promoting, and we've seen an increase in our rentals and an increase in our sales, quite frankly. So
We'd like to see more.
yeah, absolutely, but give us time. It's happening.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for the report, great. Okay, stay and play golf inquiries. I know you talked about it and Brian's not here. What about the goodie bags? Did you bring this up for the last tournament? What did we do there?
We provided 80.
80?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how many were used, but I feel like all of them were put to good use regardless. They were stuffed, and then POS gave us Realty magazine, so we put those in,
Very good.
and several memorabilia, smaller items that were labeled City of Sky Valley. So, and I think, Doug, you sent golf balls, so I think those were added.
What was that golf tournament?
That was the sheriff's department for charity.
Do you know how many they had, Jack, any idea?
I don't.
That day before yesterday? Is that when it was?
It was, no, this one's, I think, the 16th.
There was a tournament.
Yeah, it was the 16th.
There was a tournament Wednesday or Tuesday. Ryan said they had 71 golfers playing in the rain and the cold.
That might have been
I
that
think that was the superintendent's.
Yeah.
That's the golf superintendent.
That's exactly what
So
that.
you had them coming from all over the area.
They get out there and do that anyway.
They played.
You're left.
He said they had seven, I had lunch with the guys from the club Tuesday. Oh, yeah. And they were telling me they had 71 golfers out there playing in that rain.
Thank you, Sharon.
One thing.
Okay, website update, Sharon, anything on that? Anything different at all?
No, everything's still being updated as it can. I did check with Mike Lawson, who is our programmer.
Yeah.
And he said that the website has had 69,131 visits. And our Facebook page, just for visit, has had 13,240 views.
Oh.
So,
Was that in 1 month period of time?
doubt that.
It's probably something.
I have to go back and report to our board, that's why.
I think that's
Make sure my notes are correct.
I have a feeling that's overall.
Is there any
Is that
comparison,
overall?
is there any comparison to other years to see if there was up?
No.
It seemed like a good number, but
No.
comparing to other
Sounds
years,
like we're
it's interesting to
Great job of tracking.
see.
It's about, the Visit Sky Valley site, late 2000, we had it before you got here, but what, 22, maybe, 2022? So we're talking about 4 years?
Timeshares website activity has gone up,
That's
and part of it is coming from Visit Sky Valley.
Ah,
And we actually get.
Synergy.
Yeah, we actually get a breakdown of where the people are coming
Oh,
from.
good.
well, you're doing something, you're up there. It used to be a month to go by. Remember, we complained a few years ago, as we not had updated activities. Now- It's so you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Progress.
yes. Thank you. And maybe the next report, if you could, see what, if there's,
I have a feeling of that since inception.
okay,
So.
okay, all right.
You're probably talking 4
Thank you. Fantastic.
years.
Okay, Sky Valley Fall Festival update. Let's you give us a brief, Jason, please.
Gordon, I may not be the best this year, I was just a couple of days out for my
Right.
surgery, but, it was well organized. I want to thank the volunteers, the staff, I know Sharon and some of our guys did a lot. I actually was able to bum a ride up and I rode through the city, during the event. The weather was perfect, the crowd, at the time I was there, it seemed like a little bit lower, but, I think it was a success. Again, I hate that I was not a part of it. Usually I'm up on the tractor pulling the hay bales, but
Yeah, boy.
hopefully next year I'll be there, yeah, it was, it's one of my favorite times of year, and I think it was well received. I don't- Sharon, you were there, I think it was like a 10-hour day for you, you probably better than me to talk about it, but,
I think the car show had a lot of entries and they did really
oh,
well.
yeah, I was, cause the year before, I think it was back near the club pavilion, but having it there at the old lodge out there for everybody to see, yeah, I was really surprised. I think you mentioned that, there must have been about 60 cars there or something.
I don't know, I never asked
Yeah.
guys, couldn't leave the vendor part, it was busy.
You know,
over
we
there.
didn't have the food trucks this year or last year, so I don't know if that helped or hurt, but, I know they had some like peanut vendors, and I guess the Kona Ice guy was there. Yeah, that seems to do well, so yeah.
And the club provided,
Yeah.
offered
Yeah.
lunches.
dogs were good.
Yes, they were. Smash burgers were offered at the car show.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah, but as far as I know, it's a success, as always, again, it seems to be well organized, most of the folks that do that, they know their parts.
Good, very good.
I thought the traffic at the vendors area in the afternoon looked pretty light. And I think some of the vendors were disappointed.
There's so much competition.
Changes from year to year.
There's so much competition in fall, every weekend, people are doing fall, that's October.
All over the area.
And also, Gold Rush was that weekend, which is, and you're talking probably
Yeah.
200,000 people in Delaware, it's about, so you got a lot of
It's a big-
competition. A lot of competition for participants, but,
Grace just said there's 34 cars.
oh, it's not on that, but yeah, anyway, it's high and lows, I mean, it's just the way it goes. But again, certainly couldn't blame the weather,
Beautiful.
past few years, the weather's been awesome.
You sell all your t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff?
We made quite a bit of money. Of course, we didn't have a lot of profit in them because we don't raise the price that much, but, I had 3 Fall Fest shirts left and they were all 3X. And several people have come by and I ordered a few more, just maybe like 5 for specific people.
You did good.
So, yeah,
Yeah, great, fantastic, great. Very
It's a
good.
great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and something that certainly the city wants to continue doing, I would assume. A lot of work that goes into it, isn't it, in the planning and organizing.
mhm.
For Fall
I
Fest.
think the Independence Day is probably more, but yeah,
Yeah.
both of those events are well received and,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a great outreach for the city.
Okay, now item would be the marketing committee's hay bale decorations. John, you had a comment, what was your comment on it?
Went by and looked at all the different decorations that were still there, and I thought it was one of the nicest. It was well done, covered all the possible things that are available in the area, and it caught your attention, it was really good.
Well, I'll say I'm on
I was impressed because I remember at the last meeting, we said, well, we need to do something, we're not sure what we're gonna do. Well, I guess we got it all
You
together.
did a great job. I'm not sure who did it, but thank you very much.
Jack and Jeff and Paul, and then Paul, we met.
All right, Paul, what do you got, buddy? Glad you got something anyway.
I'll say, Paul, after our meeting, we were stuck, we knew, we had a message we wanted, we didn't know quite how to put together. Paul come up with a diagram, what to do, and that was it, Paul, fantastic, what he did.
It looked
And
good.
he says, yes, and fortunately enough, we were able to get signage done at a.
I don't remember seeing much hay bales as part of it, but it was a good presentation.
Great.
Well, weather permitting, we're hoping to keep those up for a couple or 3 more weeks.
They sure wouldn't wear because of the rain.
Yeah, so in fact, a lot of times the bear, of course, I'm gonna plug my daughter, I give a plug to my daughter. She painted it, but like she did last year, but usually that becomes a Christmas bear, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that up, but yeah, we'll keep those up. as soon as we
So
can.
I know Paul asked that question, when we should take them down, so is there a point, 2-3 weeks, or?
Usually, if the hay bales start kind of crumbling on themselves, we'll put out a notice. We don't really, push it, but, usually people are pretty good about taking the decorations down themselves, usually by, I'd say mid-November at the latest, but, if any of them get stayed up, I think one year y'all, the marketing committee actually converted it to a Christmas, presentation.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
But yeah, I'm,
It's coming up on 2 weeks since the fall festival. Was that right?
yeah, and well, they've been up, typically the hay bales get put out,
Yeah,
base
yeah.
painted about a week before, you might as well say probably 3
So they've
weeks.
been out about three plus weeks. There's,
If we start seeing that they're starting to kind of crumbling on themselves or things like that, we'll put out a notice asking people to take the decorations, and once they do that, we actually pick up the bales, so.
most of them are still looking good.
Yeah. Oh, Ricky, very good, thank you. And now we're going into the Skyway Marketing Budget 2025, 2026. Jason sent one report out on it. Jason, if you want to go over that briefly, or I can, go ahead.
Well, just, as you all know, based on everybody's contributions for this year's budget, the 5,000 each, there was 20,000, I'll use a little bit of the surplus from the year before that, so your budget was a little over $26,000. As of today, you've spent not quite 19,000, so you've got over 7,000 left. Whatever you don't spend, obviously that gives you some flexibility as you draft your budget for next year. I think, and there's not quite, well, there's about 12,000 in the bank account right now. So there's, as we talked about, a little bit of, so the difference from what you have, 7,000 something left is 12,000. There's about $5,000 difference to the good, but obviously I know y'all try to watch your money, but as you're creating your budget, I presume everybody's, I know the city, we just posted our draft budget that they'll be hearings next month. And as the years before, there was $5,000 earmarked from the city to go towards next year's budget.
Right.
And I presume that if the club, the POA, and Timeshare does that, that will at least give y'all a base of 20,000
Right.
as you establish things, and then of course, whatever you don't spend will just be in the account, it carries over.
Right.
So you'll have a little bit of surplus. So I know, anyway, that's, right now, you're in pretty good shape.
Right, right. That'll bring us to the next one. I think we're projecting out, it's on the screen, and this is the here is a, you might, some of you couldn't open it up, why don't you spread it out, you can get on with it.
Yeah. There you go, Jimbo.
Thank you, sir.
What I want to do on this is basically, this is not the budget meeting, but just to look at what we have. This is something that I put together and then presented, then the city sort of consolidates it. But as you look at it, what I want you to do is, you can see it from can you see it, the contribution part? What I did is add on the spreadsheet. We got 2,000 actually, 2026. Yep, go to the second one. You got it here. For 2026. Looking at area contributions, it looked like it this year. Can you see the top monetary contributions? Just briefly go over it. You see we've got 20,000 at this point. But and then we're going to go down how we broke it down, and then we have a checking account carryover, and then we have expenses. If we look at our expenses, we take golf light. And then we have to say what it is, and we have to say what we'll do next year, and I'll talk to, in this case here, about Doug, what increase we'll have. Then you go through other photography, we didn't spend any money on that. Travcon visitor map, you can see here, Mountain Lake Publishing, we published it out and we budgeted it out, we're pretty close to numbers. Vacation Guide Magazine, that was pretty close. Raven County Guides, Clayton Tribune, some of the things we did not spend this year. There's the subtotal advertising. And then as we go through, if there's other things we want, we can add them as we between now and next. We have general supplies and materials, hay bale materials.
we had a budget of $350, visitor center, goodie bags, banners, subtotal. Then we had Sky Valley promotions, we had T-shirts of $2,000. And then we had meals, cleaning costs, food and media. We had $2,800 there, and I'll go into the details later on. Jack, you were talking about, we've broken down the number of nights, saying, meal costs and so forth. And in that case here in the past, yes, there was money budgeted
Yeah,
in it.
I can see that, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's in there, but it doesn't show it. When Jason presents it to the city, it's sort of consolidated, but this is, I sort of break it down, and our next meeting, we'll go over it. I itemize each item. Now, in the past, with the country club, they've always provided meals in the past, so there was a little issue where Brian thought that we should be paying for it. In the past, we've always done it, it was in the budget, so I say, I get it, you've done it before, you've always taken, Jack, the club has always, assume it's only $300, $400, but the club has always paid that, so that's, I assume that, but ongoing this year, if the club's not gonna do it, then we have to include that extra money in it. So it definitely was in the budget, so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had
It's
not seen
there,
that before.
and I'll go into their budget stuff. Then we go into other items, meals, cleaning costs, if we go out here, gift apparel and so forth. So we get the end, and you go down to the bottom, and, we just a brief look at it. So what I'd like to do is, between now and the next meeting, if you look at it, and anything you want to add to this thing, so when we have our next meeting, that we finalize it, Jack, whatever it is. So this was an outline, and we should have, hopefully we can get it, as we had last year, our next meeting, we finalize it, and then we can send it on to the city council for final approval.
Typically, Gordon, we'll be having public hearings, the budget. The 26 budget should be adopted mid next month,
Okay,
and so that gives y'all some time. I presume all of the other entities have committed to 5,000, I guess.
okay,
Okay. Yeah, typically, you present that in January, that's when y'all's budget is adopted by the council at the January meeting.
okay.
And then y'all pretty much have the discretion to spend it accordingly. So
Okay.
that change was made a couple of years ago.
Any questions on that? Example with marketing budget approved, one of the items that Jason, we puts it together, he had this, cetera, he recombines it, but he has need for reimbursement, G-brand, reimbursement expenses. Well, then you'll see, I took those Sky Valley promotion expenses and I took them out and put them into this. You'll see where each one is. So I identified, they reimbursed me, but I put it into housing, meal costs and so forth. And we'll show that, will show it here, but it doesn't show it on the marketing budget. It says general reimbursed, G brand, $1,648. Well, I broke it down in each area where each one item is, which when I submit my reimbursement expense, it shows each item. And this, when we talk about it next month, it'll show where it's at. Am I making sense? So it's itemized where actually every dollar is going.
Yeah, on the media visits, oftentimes we can provide accommodations and have in the past,
That's
but we
right.
always don't know. It
That's
all depends
exactly
on the
right.
timing of the visit.
Right.
As to Bill Thies has
Yes,
been very
yes.
nice.
Bill's been excellent.
Yeah, but it may or may not be available, and that's the difficulty in doing a budget.
So I did last, I put in 5 or 6 nights, that's how we got it covered. I didn't know in the past, Bill has done it, so we had money set aside for, in the case here, we had Pike. We had to go in and pay him, we paid for his, but if there was money, there was budget money for it. Then I'll break it down for you. I had like 5 or 6 nights, Jack, I put in there, plus so many meals over and above the club. But if this year, or next year, if the club, in this case.
But I don't think it's in our budget. I don't think it's in our budget. That's, and we're working on our budget too,
We'll
so
put it.
we've got to look at that, and I've got to, I think a lot of, we'll defer to Ryan on that, our general manager, as to what we can. I know we provide the golf and the golf carts and that sort of thing, but.
So we know that this year we'll, because it was in there, we'll do it. So putting it in, that's great. So I guess at this point, our next meeting, we'll just go through each other. If one of the important things here is we might have a little extra money, what other, marketing functions you want, is there, that we have? I'm trying to get a number we can for, this possible, this luncheon deal, that could be several $1,000s, so hopefully by, our next meeting, we can get a general number that I can plug in for this year's budget. Or if you have anything else, publications coming up, you're still looking for, there are new publications that you like, real estate or something, you say, gee, we should be looking at this, well,
Yeah,
let's look at it. And you're the ones, you've got some, Doug, you have something nationally or locally or something, or timeshare, maybe you have something that we should be, marketing, should be working with timeshare, if you're contributing, is there something we could do in that field?
Sure.
Some associations where we could, help you out on that.
Sure.
There's,
We can take a look at that.
contributing to it, something we should be doing, so.
We'll
think
have
of
a,
that.
we'll have a board meeting in, December and be doing our budget and also our planning for 26.
Okay, great, great.
Get a feel for
Okay. Any questions on that? So where we are, so good. Alrighty, new ideas, marketing programs for 2025, obviously the year is over, 2026, this is back to it. What are items you have, you're thinking of, and then we have to put a cost tag on it. So this is the time to be thinking about it. And then trying to put a number on it for our budgets.
that. I would think it'd be a good time to turn it up a notch on July the 4th this year with your 250-year stuff that you're doing, Doug.
Yeah, it's a good year.
And
Really
really
promote.
turn up July the 4th a notch, because everybody's been doing it around the country, we might as well
Yeah.
see if we can cash in on some of that, so.
Okay.
I don't know how.
What
that-
day is the, what day is the 4th?
Saturday.
Saturday, so,
Saturday.
Okay.
the Dillard House always, so we would probably do ours on Friday the 3rd then, I would think, probably. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about the city's event, because
Yeah.
the agreement that we have with Monterey, the pyro company, that's been the best, and they give us a little bit of a break because they have that long-standing contract with the Dillard House. So they shoot the Dillard House always on the 4th, no matter what day it is, so they'll shoot on the 4th Saturday, so I think we probably have better attendance if we do it on that Friday.
Maybe you need to, we can lock that in so we can start advertising and, get things reserved.
So
That'd
Friday,
be good.
Friday the 3rd. Well, we can do something, you can plan the whole weekend out, yeah, but Friday the 3rd, probably the night we shoot.
The club is planning stuff for the whole month.
Well, the club, I think, is doing something with fireworks too, so I don't know, who was I talking to about that? I don't remember, but somebody said that the club's gonna be doing something with fireworks, so I wanted to make sure, I wish Brian was here. That we're not overlapping with that, if they wanna take that expense, that'd be great, but I just don't know if they can do.
$11,000.
How much was it for fireworks? I'm sure.
I don't have any authority to speak to that issue. Make sure the record's clear on that.
Jack is silent.
It was, I think $10,800 this year or something. It's going up a little bit. I mean, they have insurance and overhead they have to pay. I know
Everything is.
the last year they went up about $500 on it. And I talked with the owner and he said that they, pay labor. Obviously, you gotta certify these people to handle explosives. And then their insurance went up because of the liability issues and things like that. So, but, the company that we've used, we typically try to get prices for that. It's not like, a Chinese restaurant or something on every corner. There's not a whole lot of those pyro places out there. So, but,
They do a great job.
but the company that we have, when we do get prices, they're always the best, and they know what to expect, and we've used them now about 3 or 4 years in a row.
well, I'm impressed that every year they seem to get a little better.
They do a great job.
We just
And
can't.
thank you to the club for allowing us to shoot there, because, we shoot on the dam, and.
Oh, yeah, and it's beautiful
Yes, sir.
from the vantage point of the club.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
I think you guys should do a commemorative T-shirt, Sky Valley T-shirt, put it
That's a
on
good
sale
idea.
now. Do a 250th anniversary Sky Valley T-shirt, put it on sale starting after the beginning of the year.
That's what I'm
Ah,
thinking.
Yeah.
But and I'm fine with having a t-shirt, but I was thinking, we were incorporated in 78. So wouldn't that be, we can do a 250-year, it wouldn't be Sky Valley, it just, I guess, have Sky Valley on it for.
Sky Valley
America.
celebrating.
Yeah,
The 250th is because they're, like I said, on the house
Celebrates
committee at the club and they're planning on doing stuff for
Okay.
a whole month.
okay, well, Kim, I was curious, when you said kick it up, what exactly?
Marketing wise, I mean, we
Yeah.
could just cash in on the 250-year deal that everybody's gonna be jumping on. And all our marketing efforts, to me, should reflect that in somewhere in print. Something, we're celebrating, just like the T-shirt idea, we're celebrating 250 years of America.
Right.
That type thing. That marketing wise, I was saying to kick it up a notch and really cash in on the 250-year deal that's gonna be going on around the country.
Well, and we can tie all that into what I'm trying to do, if we can come up with, they don't have to be big things like the Battle of Atlanta, but something that, historical stuff up here that I can put out, we can put out, but like I said, I don't know, historical, I can talk to CJ, I can talk to other people around to find out in the northeast Georgia area.
I don't check my fourth grade history book, but I think you got some signers of the original Declaration of Independence here in Lakeland and in Lanier, I think.
We got Button and Hall and
All those guys.
Walton, they're all three together.
So you got a lot of that stuff going on, but I think when we market it, if we just. make
Would
sure-
there be any money, Gordon, is this a possible use to, like last year adding the Duncan booth? I think it was nice, the more things we had for kids, the better it would be. Cody and the crew built a few things, but I mean, we definitely need more. It's not enough to fill a day with, quacking the duck pump. But I mean, it's a great idea, but it does all cost money.
Yeah. Last year, the only thing we supported really on in terms of Fall Fest was the ad. We want to do that again, the ad, the fall ad, but something like, is that something you
Well,
want
and
to
the
add for?
t-shirts.
Yeah.
And you did with the t-shirts as well.
Yeah, yes, right.
But I'm thinking if we want to draw more people, we have to have,
You need a direct support, marketing, possibly. Okay.
I don't know, we can definitely
Is it a-
discuss it,
I
but
think
it's,
the image is really, everything be somewhat marketing driven, a message. I don't care if it's on a t-shirt that says, Sky Valley, or the.
we'll put that in the budget. Because I
Yes.
know if the city's not paying for that, and that's one less expense, it's something we could put somewhere else. If you have that, like you help. with
You're
Fall
talking
Fest.
about tying this into the Independence Celebration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do budget for that. Most of that budget, a large part goes to the hay bales, the Fall Fest, but, I'd say, Independence Day probably we probably spend, well, the fireworks is $11,000 just by itself. But probably $15,000 for that event, the Independence Day, with most of that going to so what Sharon's saying is that if there was something to kind of tie in, certainly that would help, make it even better.
Well, even if it's just the t-shirts, I mean, if like you did for Fall Fest.
T-shirt would be good.
Yeah, because
I
that
can
would
see that
promote
tie-up. Okay,
something, but if you can put that in for approval, we'd like it.
okay.
So, Gordon, if I'm understanding right, if there was a proposal submitted before the next meeting, it would be considered, if there was a 250th celebration ideas, if there was a proposal submitted to you by next meeting, it would be for consideration, which
Yes.
might include t-shirts, maybe some decorations,
Yes.
flags for Sky Valley
Yes.
neighbors, that kind of thing.
Yes, we know what I do. Wonderful, yeah. That's what we're about, yes.
Okay. A
Yes,
proposal.
Great.
The signage coming up the mountain, that's great stuff now, I think.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff, but then maybe be some really strong, we're celebrating the 250th.
More of like the signage we have.
Yeah.
We don't, well, the problem with.
Have they swapped out or they're pretty permanent on?
No, they're permanent, because I think they notched it so they wouldn't bow, but we don't have any land.
I know, but
We would love to, I mean, I'd love to spread them all the way.
sometimes you do stuff with big mercy,
Well, did you not notice one's missing?
I knew you would want to do that.
Yesterday, somebody hit one.
Oh, dear.
But they didn't mess up the sign, it just messed up the frame, thank goodness. So that's gonna be,
I didn't say that.
they took it down, cause it was, one leg was just off.
Yeah.
So, thank goodness they didn't mess up the sign, but that'll be fixed. But I mean, I'm all for that, I'd love to have something, but maybe even if we did smaller size, but they're still there, but give me some ideas, I mean, just,
Yeah.
That goes back to, I was gonna do, jump around here, Sky Valley roadside signs, which I thought were really good, but I had a comment that someone thought it was tacky. And I said, gee, and she sent it to me this morning, and she says, she had a committee of people thought it was tacky. I said,
You know, you can't please every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
They were trying to bust our butts.
Like I said, we got 3,500 different
Yes.
opinions, so.
I won't say the person, but she thought we should have a committee of people telling us how to design our signs.
We had talked about, I think, last time about liking them somehow with the.
Yeah, most people, I thought they were wonderful. Did you have any negative comments on this? Have you had any negative comments on the site?
I
Jack,
have.
Yeah,
she had, okay.
there's been a couple, Gordon, but you know, it's.
that they're intrusive or too large, what, just they don't need to be there?
I don't think.
But yes, and yes, just, but,
Anytime you do something different, they're gonna have people that like it and others that don't.
That's true and everything.
but you know,
Yeah.
speaking of signs, I thought we talked about, there's actually a base sign down across from the Chevron station.
Yes.
That is still there. I'm surprised the DOT hasn't taken it down, but it's got that old home base, which is an old marketing approach.
Yeah.
I thought at one time you were talking about putting a sign there because that's probably the most visible spot ever, because you're right there at 441.
Well, we can't yet, can we, with the construction?
Well, I mean,
Still a mess down there.
Planet.
but also right as you go into North Carolina, there's the one here too. I don't know if you've seen it, but it still
Yeah.
has the old home.
Yes, it's you.
That's.
Are you suggesting something more updated?
Well, I'm just saying that you've got bases there that might be an opportunity to put. two
Is
extra
there a
signs.
billboard down there you could?
No, well, we used to pay for that, but Julep Farms
They
got
got,
that about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes. Right.
And I think Julep Farms has that billboard right now.
you might
Is there
look
a
at
sign
it.
ordinance?
There is a sign ordinance, but the city is exempt from sign ordinance. So, yeah, there is a
Wow.
sign ordinance, and mostly the size and things
I
like
would
that.
say, so the signs that are out there aren't in compliance with sign ordinance, but the city's exempt.
I don't know if they're, I'd have to look and see the size if they're in compliance or not, but the city is exempt from the sign ordinance being a municipality.
Well, these are the guys, are great, wonderful ideas, and hopefully by then we can put some ideas together cost-wise for our budget we'll have. All right, one other idea here, come up to, professional video, Sky Valley, this is some of the ideas about, do we need a professional video, Sky Valley? Earlier, we talked about this country club, and the idea was, no, maybe we didn't like it, really wasn't well done. Paul, do you have any comments on that about a professional video? I know the last time you did, about maybe what we do or not do for a professional video of Sky Valley.
I thought can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's good. I thought maybe we put that one to rest last time.
Yeah, I thought so too.
We did, but then there was discussion, Paul, you brought up possibly we should have a video, we'd have locals instead of professional, some of the people putting together, amateur photographer, people video. So are we saying at this time, there really is no need? Sky Valley, I guess Club had a video at one time we showed. Are we saying really they don't need an updated video showing Sky Valley, the club, the activities in this area? Is it something we need or something we can use in terms of the social media? Go ahead, Tom.
I think we talked about the cost of a professional video, and we looked at a video that was historic, that was good, but was dated. And then we talked about how media is transitioning to more of a consumer-based advertising with phone type small media kinds of videos. And we talked about people being in the timeshares or other venues and taking their own, or on the golf course and taking their own videos and providing those to Ryan or to the people in the timeshares of others, just as a way of advertising and marketing. And if they were good enough, that we would post them on our own websites. And we could either do that as a service, and by posting consumers' videos on your websites, it's an incentive for them to go back up there and to tell their friends to go back up on our websites and look at how much fun they're having in Sky Valley. So I think this whole orientation of turning away from professional videos to consumer-based media is one that seems to be the zeitgeist, and everybody seems to be using it in marketing. So that would be my recommendation, is that we take a look at that, and to encourage the people who visit the Sky Valley on the 4th of July or whenever, to take to submit their videos to the marketing committee or to the city in either just a competitive format where we tell them we're having a contest for them, and the best ones we'll put up. But there has to be some kind of editing of the video or a requirement that we don't put too much that we look at it and make sure that they're acceptable.
Hey, can we use Nelson Hicks? It's on about 7 minutes, isn't it? I mean, it's got everything, I mean, it's what we did it for.
Well, except it promotes the fall festival. I mean, I asked him if certain things could be taken out, and he said no.
Well, is it okay? We have a fall festival. I mean, the video's great. I mean, cause you know, we got the different, one of us all
Yeah,
talking
we
about.
used it. We had put it out last year, and I can
I
read.
mean, can we, I think that you can buy the world, but if nobody knows about the world, you gotta market it. So it's the key. You have the best slice of bread, but nobody knows about it, so you gotta figure out how to market this video that's gonna cost a lot of money. So I'm either with Paul, which could be, or let's see what we can do. You remember what I'm talking about, the video that we did in the WSB one that came up?
Yes,
He did croquet and.
I mean, he did everything. I'm talking about golf, Ryan's talking about the club, the lady who talked about the history, who sat down there in the club, started out that way. Nelson kind of, whatever he was, host, video, speaker.
Narrates it, yeah.
And
I don't know if I've seen that.
that's very good. We need to get that back out probably.
Gordon, could I throw something out?
Yeah, sure.
No, you've already enough.
You know, under the notion of always trying to do more with less,
Yeah.
I think Mr. Rollader actually lives in the city of Sky Valley. He is the audio visual teacher at the high school that teaches editing and all that stuff. That might be a good PR move if you could work out something where maybe the kids could do the video. You know, they're really a lot of talent there. I'm just throwing that out.
And the line, what Paul was saying. You hear that, Paul?
Again, it's just, y'all dismiss it.
I really like the notion of a high school teacher and having kids edit videos, because they're going to do that anyhow, and that's going to be a lot of fun to get them involved. And perhaps the whole theme of the 4th of July and Yankee Doodle Day kind of thing, there'll be lots of videos taken and lots of information to use if we choose to go in that route.
Yeah, wrap the video submissions into the whole.
Now,
July celebration.
I don't want to speak for Moody Barrett, but Moody does a lot of drone work. You know, he did an excellent video, and it was Independence themed.
Yeah.
About 4 years ago. In fact, I think we have that, but it's like 17 minutes long, it's a little long.
But it gets back to the whole issue is we have a lot of this videos out, but how do we put it together and make a presentation? And you're talking about, you don't market it, you know, you got to market it, and how do we market?
So
So,
Ryan said the club got recent drone footage, and we're happy to release that.
but how do we put
Yeah,
it?
somebody's got to,
Somebody's gotta put it,
background,
yes.
whether, you know, again, going back to Jason, I don't know whether,
I mean,
whether.
I could ask, I mean, my son is in that class.
I still like the idea though of doing residents, guests, visitors, promoting what do you like about Sky Valley?
Yeah.
And not necessarily all related to 250 years,
That's
because
gonna
we like
appeal
to
more
use it
to-
year round.
Yeah, this video should not have anything to do with
Yeah,
250.
I think it should just be promotions of what do you love about Sky Valley, or what brought you here, and how do you feel about
You
it?
showed us that old footage, didn't you? That was, and same kind of theme, but it would need to be updated.
Well, but, no, this would be something totally different, like Paul's talking about. It would be like you having your camera on yourself and just saying, you're out on the golf course, man, look at hole 3, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
But, and wow, this place is amazing.
We don't want Doug with a camera on himself.
Hey, can you hear me?
Don't want any of us, we want people.
Hello?
Radio for you.
So.
What do we like? Doug.
Yeah, well,
A lot of people do.
Was any of that Denberg, that was just photos, right? Steve Denberg?
He has
Yeah, he
videos,
had some
but that's
video.
still not
Yeah.
what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
that's good.
Gordon, can you guys hear me?
People.
So what's our recommendation here? I gather we still have a need, but okay.
Somebody's got to pull it together.
Yeah, how do we?
I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you. Someone else wants to comment.
This is Harry Collins.
Hi, Harry.
Hey, I had a comment,
Never hear it.
can y'all hear me in the meeting?
I can hear you, Harry.
Okay, I was just gonna suggest that, as a class project for that audiovisual class, to do a Sky Valley promo. My granddaughter has worked as a high school student on short videos, and it's amazing what those kids can do with just a few parameters about what we're looking for as far as length and content. I believe they could handle that with that teacher's guidance, and they've got roots in Sky Valley, and I just think it would be a wonderful project to see what they come up with.
Okay,
Sounds
great.
That's it, you would do.
Yeah, because as a teacher, you can't say, I was a teacher and I wouldn't.
Yeah, you
I
just.
mean, it may be no, but we
What about contest with the prize?
probably do something. I mean, it's,
Make it a side thing, because their syllabus is probably set,
yeah.
but make it offer as a contest to high school students with a prize.
And we've tried to incorporate schools in the past. I know we ask them every year to do the band, but usually summertime for these.
Yes, right.
They're all on vacation, things like that, but,
Well, let's wrap this up. Our first thing is, could you follow up our next meeting?
Yeah,
See what happens.
You take the lead or not, okay?
And the second.
You opened your mouth, see?
I should have learned from Lisa.
Yeah.
Paul, I know you're so good at this, maybe you and Jason could sort of work together on this, collaborate on this. Do you mind working with Jason on this? Do you hear me?
I do think you're gonna have a pretty good idea about what you want, because they're gonna be limited on time, so.
Could you, Jason, could you, Paul, work together, and then, Paul can maybe give an idea to Jason what we're looking for, what the students possibly could do, and so forth, and maybe what cost, if we have cost. I'm looking-
Sure,
I'm looking at
absolutely.
How much money?
I'd love to work with Jason.
To put it together.
Yes.
I bet if you program $250,
Yeah, okay,
I think they'd be real excited and we come out smelling like a rose.
okay.
You know, this goes a donation to the AV program at the high school.
Oh.
You know, we get a lot for $250.
So you negotiate a price.
The competition
Tell us, so we put it in.
I'm
the
gonna
budget.
haul it.
I don't know if the school can take money, but.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll see, I'll find out if there's any boundary issues or things like
Okay,
that.
great.
Have to make it a prize.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
money.
thanks, yeah, great ideas, thank you. Okay, other business, the other business, they had the race, the Sky to Summit, trail race. Remember the Sky to Summit last weekend? And, it was really well participated. I don't know, cars all over the place. But I had a presentation to the, city council and there was a comment saying that why wasn't the marketing committee marketing the Sky to, the Sky to Summit Trail? And, I try to say at this point that we, in the past we have, and I think this is really a kind of activities we really encourage. But maybe you could add to it, it was negative that the marketing wasn't doing enough or hadn't done anything for it. Maybe you could share.
I didn't chime in.
Yeah.
David, anyway, I didn't talk with Sean Blanton this year, but I know the previous years I talked with Sean. And I said, hey, Sean, we have a marketing committee. We would love to have the opportunity, or I'm speaking on behalf of Mark, we would love to have the opportunity to do what we can. And Sean, he's so gracious, but he always says, hey, I've got great volunteers. We sell out months in advance. It's like a well-oiled machine. We don't need anything. Now, I think my first year here, I think the city gave like $300 to go towards some bottled water. And I think some of the people bought meat and chili powder, made a big old pot of chili. So maybe that seemed to be well received. Maybe what might be done next year is instead of a monetary donation from the marketing committee.
Okay.
Where they can buy the bottled water, because again, the year before that I came up here and it's amazing, those volunteers, I mean, they know what to do, they rent the pavilion, it is a well-oiled machine, as Sean says, but the invitation has been given out there. Again, I have mentioned to Sean.
I know he's done it themselves. We talked about banners, how we could promote it, but.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna reverse the whole role. This is not about them.
Yeah.
They sound like they got their act together.
Yes.
This is about, oh, Sky Valley has this every year, so we have something in February, March, and 4th, and October, and we have all these type things, so these bigger events, we do more of a calendar, so people can see what Sky Valley's doing, okay? Has nothing to do with it, okay? Forget, sounds like he doesn't need any help, but Sky Valley needs help adding the trail running thing to the other things that we do. So if there's another bigger golf tournament, 2 or 3 golf tournaments, or all the things we do, but we don't, she does excellent job, but we need to promote it in different areas where it's events, it's coming up, come to Sky Valley to do this, and that. That's what I'm saying. Whether he's full or not, it doesn't matter. We do it, okay? They love us for whatever reason. They love us. That's the same thing with Georgia State Golf Association. You know, so if we get something next year, which we're supposed to, don't know what yet, you know, we put that on the calendar. That doesn't have anything to do. We can play, might be all women, might be kids. I don't know. But this is what Sky Valley's doing. We can show it that we're not just some little bitty entity up here in North Carolina.
I just posted the registration for next year's race and I added on there that it definitely sells out fast. And he commented back and said on the public post then and said, you're right, it sells out fast. We appreciate you, you know, but I mean, I think Doug's idea of telling people what's happening is great. I don't know that anybody wants to come see the race. You can't, you know, but registration is out now. It could be on that calendar, just saying things that.
I took a photo of it, and 9 hours later, they're still racing. I mean, they're out, there's holes up in the mountains, I'm saying,
So it's more for Sky Valley. It's more for us promoting.
I love it.
They have a nationwide presence too, because I know I had a detailed conversation with Sean. And I think 34 states and 3 or 4 countries that come to that. So there's certainly an opportunity. You've got a nationwide exposure there. So,
Yeah.
They do goodie bags and stuff, maybe contribute to the goodie bags, maybe let them use the parking lot to host something, the night before event, stuff like that.
Yeah, they again, it's obviously, it's the marketing committee decision, but I do know that one year, I think in 21 or 22, I think there was $300 donated. And they big old pot of chili, and I know that was very well received And,
Okay,
some of the local residents actually,
could you reach out to him and just ask it, this early date,
yeah,
let this do something, so that, do you mind reaching out, or do you have someone, your contact, that say, can you do that? So let's reach out to see what, I love that idea, I think it's, and your idea of putting on a calendar, and what I'm looking at now is cost. What it's gonna, the budget. So, but I think putting some money away, I think it's a great event, and can we support it, how we can support it. Okay, the next meeting, very good, thank you. Our next meeting, I put down, and Carrie Sue told me, well, that's November 27th, that happens to be Thanksgiving, not a good idea. So let's look at options. I'm looking at, unless you want it on Thanksgiving, I don't think anyone wants that. Could we do it a week before the 20th or December the 4th? What would you rather? And I'm looking at, we don't have a meeting in December, we have to get everything done. So I'll leave it up to you. I'm hoping either the week, the Thursday the 20th, or December the 4th. What will work better for you? Did I see this meeting
in December.
Pardon me?
Should this be like a 2-month meeting?
Yes, right. And basic meetings just be budget, more or less anything.
I think the 4th would probably be better.
Yeah, I agree. I got a busy
Our meeting
November.
is 9th.
8 to the 9th.
Does that work with you, or we can do it by, I'll send out information. Essentially, it's gonna be wrapping up the budget, and I'm putting all these ideas
Yeah.
together.
What did you say in November?
December, it could be November
20th.
Thursday the 20th, or December the 4th, keeping it on a Thursday. Could have another day too, I was looking at Thursday. I'm open either way, I put it on my calendar, I'm okay either way.
I'm good.
Should we shoot for December 4th and make it?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Oh, good.
Great, good. Alrighty, any other comments at all? Is there a motion for adjournment? Is there a second? Second. Very good. Thank you, great, spirited meeting, very good. All in favor?
Aye.